How are you? This is Coins Alert Channel. I'm telling you, the number of new XRP accounts being made every day has never been this high. What's even more amazing is that this is happening before XRP hits a new all-time high. To get to that new all-time high, which I think is almost certain to happen, I can only imagine what these numbers will look like by then. It's been almost 7 years, but you can taste it a little, right? In other words, this is a clear sign of a few things. First, there are a lot more people involved in crypto now than there were in the last 2 rounds. Also, the number of new people coming in will be much higher than, say, what happened in the 2017 cycle. Further, and this is more interesting and important, a lot of those people are now learning about XRP and buying because they think the price will go up a lot. But isn't it interesting that we can now see that XRP has been around for more than 10 years? New people have been entering the market and speculating all that time. Okay. And of course, there are more of them at the euphoria peak of market cycles. There are still more and more new people getting into crypto, though. That being said, I find it incredibly interesting that a lot of them always agree that when they hear about XRP for the first time, wow, this is amazing. Yes, it makes sense. Because XRP has been in the top 10 coins by market cap for its whole life. If that hadn't been happening for over 10 years straight, it wouldn't be there now. It's not just you, me, or the organizations. Then, that's also how new people are always blown away when they come in. It's going to make any toxic Bitcoin maximalist very sad, but I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. XRP just works. From a technical point of view, it can do on layer 1 what Bitcoin can't. You have agreements that happen in real time and don't cost a penny. Yes, that does matter. Another thing you look at is the community around it and how many real-world use cases there are. Enterprise-level software is used by XRPs every single day. It's a given. Okay, I'll give you some facts. Oh my God, retail is learning about XRP. Before I go any further, I want to make something clear. There is no money history of any kind for me. I'm not giving you business advice. Also, you should never buy or sell something because of what I say, okay? Actually, I'm just an amateur who likes making YouTube movies about crypto as a hobby and for fun. Okay, this is what I see on the screen XRP scan. In the center chart, you can see how many new accounts have been created in the last 6 months. But as you can see, this has been the case for most of the year. This chart starts in June, so you can see that it varies on the day you're talking about, but there could be about 1,000 new accounts every day. It could be a little less or a little more. That's how things have been. Again, it's been like that. The license is for 6 months, but to be honest, that's how it's been for most of the year. There's a bit of a spike between February and March because, markets were getting hot, even though it wasn't alt season yet. But look at what happened when XRP really took off in November. It really took off like a rocket. To give you an idea of how quickly things changed after the election, on November 8th alone, over 2,000 new accounts were made in a single day. Let's skip ahead a little further. It's now around the middle of November, which is the 16th year. And 6,836 new accounts have been made. Of course, it's not a perfect upline, but you wouldn't expect that. Then you get to November 22nd, when almost 8,000 new accounts were made in one day. When you get to, say, this is the peak. December 2nd, 30,641 new accounts were made in a single day. This is a record. And I wrote about this at the time. It's been a few weeks since I last talked about this, which is why I wanted to give you an update. It's a record 30,641 accounts were made in one day, which amazes me since we haven't even reached the peak of the bull run yet. This isn't the highest level of happiness. This is just the start of things. That illustrates how many more people are in crypto, and out of those new people in crypto, like I said, how many are choosing to invest in XRP? Because they came to the same conclusion as you and me, which is that this makes freaking sense and it's way better than Bitcoin, obviously, and it's functionally useful. Without being one of the most important coins in the crypto ecosystem, it wouldn't be where it is now, especially after being attacked by the SEC for several years. So when I look at this, I think, well, since you haven't had a crazy influx of new people come in, I guess some are listening right now. If so, welcome to the party, but we haven't had the huge amount. I'm not sure where this will reach its highest point. It just makes me wonder what it will look like when XRP is at its most popular, it hits a new all-time high, and it starts to price find. I'm not sure. How many accounts will there be in a day? 60, 70, or 80,000? More, 100,000? I also don't act like I know. What do you think that means for the price, though? That's why I'm highlighting. What do you think that means for price in the long run if that many new people come in? This is crazy. We've been consolidating for a couple of weeks now, which is why the number of new accounts has been dropping every few days. For example, on December 3rd, there were only 20,207 new accounts. The next day, there were 16,166, and the next day, there were 12,824. This isn't a surprise because as the price of a coin goes down, there's less excitement around it, so you wouldn't expect as many people to jump in because most people who speculate for a living chase green candles. It's best to get in on things before they take off. In the case of XRP, I understand that a lot of analysts think it will go to $10 to $23 or even a little higher. If that happens, I understand that this is still too early. As you can see, it went down a bit, but this is still amazing to me. Again, we were getting about 1,000 new accounts every day for most of this year. However, it's been combining for about a week and a half, and each day there have been between 10,000 and 110,000 new users. Depending on the day, it might be a little longer or shorter. That is unbelievable. There are already a lot of people interested in XRP, so you don't need any more. This is crazy. You can see that this is the same figure, but this time it starts at the beginning. As of January 2nd, 2013, the amount of new XRP accounts that were activated is being collected. I mean, I can just go back to the beginning. It's pretty amazing to see. For example, this is one of the first days that was tracked. 10 new accounts were made on January 22nd, 2013. Can you picture the chance back then? Oh my God, of course, back then it was a lot more dangerous. In this point, it's more clear that XRP is here to stay. People who invested back then definitely earned it more than anyone else, including me, because investing back then is a lot riskier. Now that it's very clear, let's see, this is a good spot for me because anyone can see it if they do the study, but almost no one on Earth knows what XRP is. I thought, yeah, that's the sweet spot. Okay. I have enough of a track record and enough real-world usage to know that this thing isn't going away. Without a doubt, as investors in the crypto asset class, we agree that it's as clear as day, right? I think it will be worth a lot more in the future, but there isn't much money in it right now because there are so few people in the world. Less than 1% of people have ever owned XRP. If we're right, and this thing keeps getting bigger, that's why we have the chance to become so rich that it changes our lives. But check out these stories. At the bottom, you can see different times and how many new accounts were made on each day, like I'm just going through. It's in the low hundreds here in 2015, strange, but then you see what 2017 brought. And it looks like the busiest day for us in 2017 was December 29th, when 21,402 new accounts were made. That was the height of happiness. That kind of level couldn't last, right? That was the peak. And then you had kind of similar numbers for the last cycle because XRP was artificially suppressed. Because of that stupid-ass SE case, because of those dumbass pricks over at the SEC. Still, given that, it's pretty amazing that it got that high. Right around here, I think this is when it was at its peak. So yeah, I'm having a hard time with it. It wasn't even close to what you saw in 2017, but I'd have to change the date range to see it on my mouse. Late in the year, there was a high point. That had nothing to do with the price move, though. Over the years, you may have seen random little spikes here and there. I'm not going to talk about those reasons in this movie. I am only thinking about the kinds of spikes we saw in past market cycles. Thus, I say once more, take a look at where we are on the right, where I just showed you over 30,000 accounts per day, and now adding about 10,000 new accounts every day. That's 10 times more than earlier this year. What do you think that says about the price? This is really crazy, buck wild to the max. Again, thank you very much to the crypto gods for making it clear that this asset class is here to stay. Like just a few days after I jumped in, I had already done enough study to be sure of that short, even though I didn't know much. I did enough study to know that crypto is here to stay. This is because I knew that there were valuable business models that could not exist without a decentralized